Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo, and we are back after taking a small little day off. Yesterday it was Valentine's Day, so we decided maybe we should not be talking football all night long like we do every weekday evening, and we should say hi to our ladies, and we did. And I watched a movie, and we laughed, and we cried, and all that stuff. Not to mention that I am currently walking with a cane these days. I busted my knee this weekend and was laid up all weekend, so I was on pain meds and all that. So the football that I was watching, and I was commenting to some friends of mine, and they're like, I don't think you're watching the same match. Could be that I was watching like 5 matches at the same time while being laid up in bed on pain meds and other things. But yeah, so I'm in recovery. So if you guys were starting me in your fantasy league, I'm going to be out for I don't know, a few weeks at least. So, but I'll be here. I slowly made my way down 4 flights of stairs. It's the going up the stairs that is concerning me, but I'm not drinking tonight, so it might be a little bit easier. So good to see everybody in the audience already. Oh my God, thank you, John, for putting up my own comment, which is my new favorite chant that I heard at Tottenham Stadium, whatever they call it. The Wolves fans chanting, Adama's right, Spurs are shite. Adama's right, Spurs are shite. Loved it. Big up to Ben Ireland, Anders, Jimmy, Bremner's Ghost, all of our Ava crew, Bandy Fornaski, I see you as well. All of our Stoop crew who are over in the UK who stay up till 3 a.m. to catch this quick little half hour before they head off to Snoozeville, hopefully. Or maybe they're rewatching Happy Hour. I don't know what you guys are up to. Anyway, we are talking this. I was wondering what to make today's show about, and we could have talked about today's Manchester United beating Brighton. We could talk about some Champions League stuff. We could talk about all the things that happened this weekend. And I think the biggest thing for me, because Arsenal didn't play, so for us it was a great weekend. We had draws and surprise wins, surprise losses, draws all around there, the middle of the table, the top 6. But what stuck out to me is that out of all the teams that played this weekend who are in that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 area of the table, Wolves were the most impressive. And it got me back to thinking about our post-match where Mark got fucking salty and he got fucking heated, and we had a little spat between him, myself, and Kantak, who is a shit starter, but and it just made me think, like, yeah, now I'm really starting to understand how big of a match that was. I look at it from the Arsenal standpoint, but for Wolves are right there in it. And I'm not just sucking up to Mark to get him back on the show here, saying Wolves will finish in the top 6. But out of all those clubs, we're talking West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United, Leicester, Brighton, all these teams who are hoping to finish in there in the top 6. Wolves are in their best form. If you take the loss to Arsenal, cheeky goal, could have been 0-0. They could have tied it up at the end. Maybe some bad luck there. Who knows? But little loss, 1-0. Man City, it took a handball penalty that is still debatable for Man City to beat them 1-0. That's another draw. Liverpool, 1-0. Cheeky little win at the end of the match. Things like this, and I think there was one to Chelsea as well, if I'm not mistaken, but Mark will be on here. I'm just going to let myself talk for a minute before I relinquish everything. Oh, they drew with Chelsea. So they've essentially been through the gauntlet over the holidays, where they played Manchester United, they played Chelsea, they played Brighton, they played Liverpool, they played Man City, and then a week before that, they played West Ham. They didn't lose. I'm sorry. They lost to Liverpool and they lost to City. But they were either draws or 1-0 losses were the only dropped points. And those are big, heavy hitters. Then the teams that they're supposed to beat, they played Southampton. They won 3-1. They played Wolves. They won 2-1. And then they come out against Tottenham after that somewhat of an embarrassing loss to Arsenal. Only embarrassing because Arsenal weren't explosively fantastic, but we went down to 10 men and Wolves couldn't get that equalizer. That's the only reason it's a little bit of a dropped points there. Wolves are in the best form out of all of those clubs. Wolves seem to be the only team that have a game plan that they're going with that's working, and they are bound to figure it out. Raul Jimenez hasn't been scoring. He played against Tottenham, and he was shooting from outside the box. He was doing sideways roundhouse kicks that were on target. Den Donker scored a goal. So if these goals start coming through, a lot of those 0-0 draws become 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins. The 1-0 losses become draws. And those losses were to the best teams in the league. So all I'm saying, there's my pitch. Wolves, I feel, have a better chance than Tottenham, Leicester, Manchester United, West Ham, all of those teams to finish in the top 6.
It's a fucking 30-minute show. Come on.
Yeah, and now I'm done talking. Now Mark can go. Because you know what? I didn't even mention Arsenal in that last part. So let's bring him on here. The only living Wolves fan in New York. Get in here, Mark. So I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I wanted to lay down some facts before it got laughy jokey that I'm just trying to get you back on the show.
Absolutely. You said it best, or maybe I might say that you best excused some of my worst behavior in sportsdom. I was so angry at the I've added a new word to my vocabulary, cheeky. I think that is the best way to describe it, is to just say it was a cheeky goal, and we're down. And like I said, this is a big game. We're at home. This is for the table. This is not to move up and down. This is to switch spots. And I do think we have a good squad. And then to have Arsenal go down to 10 men because Martinelli loses his mind or has been asked to just get a red card. This is how Arsenal does it.
Yeah. That's how we're funding our team.
And not like with 10 minutes left. It wasn't like the dunk red card today. It was like there was 40 minutes left in the match. I mean, that came pretty early, maybe not 40, but significant time. And to not get that was just really kind of got me fired up, we'll say. Yeah. But to turn around on a short week, 3 days, go into Tottenham Stadium, a very hostile environment, and not only make some noise, but win. And the score to me doesn't necessarily show domination, but if you watched it, they stopped.
Because you stopped
every
in
shot.
18 minutes. You scored 2 goals in 18 minutes.
They stopped Kane. They stopped Son. Kilman was phenomenal. Cody. Seiss comes back from Morocco, doesn't miss a beat. And then we've got that new kid. People talk about, Wolves have a small squad. They're not very deep. But as the season goes on, and Lodge has been working with these guys, and Luke Kundl was amazing in the spot of Jean Martino. Played 80 minutes and made all his passes. He was excellent. And Lodge has just had this way of he goes to the players and he says, "I have a spot for you. Yeah. There's room for you on this team, but you have to do this. You have to do this for me." And there's something that I've kind of seen, and maybe it's cliche to say, but in the NFL for a while with Belichick in New England. He's, the motto in New England is do your job.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything else. Just do what it is that you need to do. And Lodge has gotten that sort of mentality out of this crew. And he hasn't come back yet, but we've gotten Hechan back. I saw Johnny warming up against Spurs. He didn't play. Neto is due back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you guys have been doing this with your smaller crew. So it's fantastic to see that. I mean, not as an Arsenal fan, but as a football fan and as your friend, it's fantastic to see that you guys are doing this. João Moutinho, who everybody's like, oh, he should have retired. What is he doing? João Moutinho's been fantastic. And I think this weekend, somebody told Raul Jimenez, hey, you weren't always just a header of the ball. That was just one aspect of your game. Stop it. Use your fucking rocket of a boot. And he was like, oh, yeah. Because honestly, Mark, that the goal of his, it bounced around so many times. Usually he's so close to the keeper by that point, by the third deflection, like he's useless. A lot of strikers are because they're that far. He was towards the edge of the box waiting and fucking side slung it. It was fantastic, man.
It almost looked like a marionette.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then the rest of the game, the rest of the match, he was shooting side like Jackie Chan style. I just gotta take note. Did you notice we got a Newcastle fan showing up? What up, Johnny?
I see Johnny the Donnie.
Johnny the Donnie, the Nufk Donnie. Good to see you, brother. Glad to get some Newcastle fans in here. We got a little bit to talk about that towards the end of the show because what a huge loss Trippier is. They were just
man.
That's unfortunate.
He was playing so well. You think he broke his foot scoring? Because he puts his leg
maybe the way he puts his leg through it.
Anyway,
let's continue on because I just want to take a look at the what's up, Saul? Good to see you over in Australia
on a Tuesday.
But yeah, Johnny, just so you know, if you're new to the show, our numbers may be low, but we talk a lot of shit. So trash talk these Leeds United fans who are in the comment section watching an Arsenal Wolves show. Here we go. But I want to take a look at the middle of the table here. Well, not middle of the table, but this because I'm even including Chelsea.
You can basically cut it out. You can cut it off.
That's
at Brighton as far as I'm concerned, because
however, Southampton is playing better than Brighton right now.
But they're like a full. They're almost a full 3 games back.
Yeah.
3 games and not a lot in hand, I don't think.
So let's look at this right here because the fucking games, the matches played makes all of this really rough because look, Arsenal sitting on 22, Tottenham on 22, Wolves 23, but above that is 25. So let's say you win your next two matches that you have in hand. On Man United and West Ham. That puts you at 43. That puts you level with Man United. Only goal differential is different there. That's 4th place. Now that's assuming Arsenal and Tottenham don't win any of theirs. But what I'm saying is we're talking top 6 like that's a crazy thing. But if we played all of our matches, you would be competing for top 4 right now.
I'm beginning to believe that I believe we can set our sights on Europe, and I'm feeling like I didn't say that about us this year. I said this about Brighton. Brighton being the new West Ham. Well, they really haven't shown us that, but so now the Wolves right now, the Wolves are that kind of West Ham team where they're competing for, and they might, there'll be people talking about competing in top 4. And I think West Ham finished 6th? 6th last year. Spurs finished 7th. Yeah. So, and we're watching kind of West Ham do that right now. So I do think that we're definitely competing for Europe. What scares me is all these pundits are saying that Wolves are competing for a 4 spot. And I think
keep it
when
real,
when
man.
when you put that kind of expectations on the line, it becomes you start tightening up. You start going, well, we're supposed to beat these guys, and we got to move up the table because Arsenal did and West Ham did, so on and so on and so on. And so we have a pretty young squad,
Yeah,
and
but the
that
thing is,
just
Mark,
kind
you
of
guys,
puts that pressure when in the beginning of the season there was talk of possible relegation.
but you guys are beating the teams that you're supposed to, and you're getting draws and sneaky wins out of, like, beating Manchester United. Once again, they won again, and they had a bad weekend, but they only drew. They've only lost the one time under Ralph Ragnick, and they're talking about getting him the fuck out of there. The locker room's in shambles. But really,
You
like,
just
in
don't
reality,
know who
they
this team
haven't
is,
lost.
man.
That's their big problem. Is I mean, we're not going to talk Man United. They have other issues, but look at the people who are dropping points to the likes of Burnley, Southampton, Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
It's us. It's
right, but it's
Arsenal,
also a little higher up the
it's Man
table.
United. It's Chelsea. It's West Ham. Like, are you kidding me? West Ham, if you are who you are, beat the shit out of Leicester. Don't have a match like that where you let them absolutely demolish you after going up in no time. But you guys are winning those matches against the teams you need to win, and then coming out against the likes of Tottenham, Man United, even West Ham, and beating them. So it's the reason I think you guys will finish in the top 6 is because you have an established game plan. You have something. And as Ben Ireland will tell you, he hates fucking watching it. It's boring as shit. And most of the time, it is boring as shit.
To be honest, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm getting boring.
But most teams that go up 2-0 in 18 minutes, if they don't score another goal in the match, it's probably a draw or a loss.
Right.
But when I saw you guys go up in 18 minutes, I was like, all right, bring the bus in. Like, they're not going to score. Like,
right. In fact, I think
you
one of
guys
the
may not score
commentators
again, but
on
Wolves are built for
the
that.
match that I was watching had mentioned that it was just like, this might just be it. Wolves up 2-0, and they don't give up much, and we could be in for a long, slow rest of the game. And I was typical. Like, oh God, yeah. Yeah.
But it was typical. There were fantastic moves by Spurs, by Son. There were fantastic shots. But if not for some incredible defending, like Kilman beating Son in a sprint and getting his foot in, or Sa making some fantastic saves, but that's what you do. That's not weird.
Yeah.
It's not like, Sa saved your ass. It's like, no, he does that every fucking week.
Well, if whoever played City, not last time, but the time before,
where they drew?
No, it wasn't Southampton. They drew, so it was the game after that where the team gives up the penalty, and then there's an own goal, and that's how they win. And Brentford, I was just like, you don't need someone. Someone needs to tell them that you don't need to give City any help. And man, did Lloris give us a lot? Him and Davies were awful. Both of our goals were attributed to mistakes that we were able to capitalize. In fact, it was almost as if in the first half that Spurs couldn't even get out of their own front, back half.
Well, guys, in the Stoop crew, in the comments section, let me know right now, what are your bets on where do you guys think Wolves will realistically finish? Because I'm going to call it right now. I'm saying 6. It's going to be tough, and good teams get better. But I think 6 for you. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The form you guys have maintained over the hardest part of your schedule, I'm gonna say 6. Mark, I know you'll say like 9th or something because that's who you are.
I'd have to sit and look at the schedule. Here we are. It's 23
Ben says
games
sixth,
in,
a boring
and
sixth.
we are 7th, probably a boring 6th. You know what? Do I dare have hope? Do I dare have hope? Do I
You're
dare
Wolves
think
fan.
that maybe 5th?
Fifth.
We're
All right.
gonna be
5th. I plead the 5th.
We're gonna be 5th because our schedule gets light after you guys. I mean, as late as we play not Southampton, but we play Newcastle, Burnley. We play everybody at the bottom, and then
Now,
our
those are the
makeup.
matches.
One of our sure, because they're not only are they scrapping for their lives, but they've all turned over game plans and
Yeah. That's
issues.
what
I mean, it was like one of
what
the
I'm saying
things that
about
I
you
had
guys.
said about, say, Norwich beating Wolves in the fuck up was that was the third time that Dean Smith has seen the Wolves this season.
Yeah.
Normally you only see him twice, and he's going to see Wolves one more time. So he's going to have played 4 matches with the Wolves this season because he was with Aston Villa for the one where we came back from the 2-0 down.
Well, Saul wants you guys to be 4th just to piss off the ESL Scab 6. Well, 3 of them.
Hey, you know what? That'd be awesome.
Got some great comments and some shitty comments like Mr. Tom here. Feels like the season will have ended before this Wolves discussion. Yeah, keep it up. You'll be booted.
Did you not see the thumbnail when you clicked in?
Just remind me about that comment on Happy Hour. And this Jimmy, for some reason, I've just lived in Manhattan too long, and she was actually my neighbor, and I saw her nearly every morning. So when you say SJP, I think Sarah Jessica Parker is my fave away. I was like, what do you mean? She's your favorite away Sex in the City girl? But yeah, John Joe Shelby, a lot of John Joe Shelby talk with the Newcastle guy in here. He says, blame Melier, not Shelby. Another chant that I know is, he's coming for you, he's coming for you, Harry Potter, he's coming for you. That's a John Joe Shelby chant because he looks like Voldemort.
Poor John Joe.
But no, my favorite new chant is, Adama was right, the Spurs are shite. Love it. And somebody had a comment up here talking briefly. A big sporting event happened this weekend, Mark. Did you notice it? And no, we're not talking Wolves Tottenham. We're talking the Super Bowl, the Super Duper Bowl, the World Championship of American Football.
The Superb Apple. Or the Superb Owl.
All I want to talk about is
the Super Bowel.
is there were so many people, like the halftime show divided people of the people who were too old, who never got into 90s hip hop, and then the kids who were too young going like, he's not rapping fast enough, like it's not, where's all the electronic, like that. Why is Martha Stewart's friend in his pajamas? But to me, I was like, the show, for whatever, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't the best, like, most beautiful thing, but it was kind of great to hear all the old songs that I grew up with. I gotta say, and then seeing Eminem take a knee and going, I wonder why all of them didn't take a knee, and then come to find out the NFL like begged all of them to and put in clauses like.
Yeah. My guess is that Eminem's check is gonna get a little delayed.
And Eminem is like,
and he's like, I don't give a fuck, because to be honest, like, look, this show, I was probably, I was adulting in the world, or at least trying to figure out how to adult when those artists came out and were prominent. I mean, NWA was definitely my high school, but him coming out solo with all the beef, him and Eazy-E, little later down the line. But to see the show was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought everybody was phenomenal. But for you fans out there that these were your musical heroes, just would like to say that this was the initiation to those artists to the oldies station.
Oh my God!
Because
Well, no, when I was
because that the Chronic came out 20 years ago.
No, it did not.
Yes,
it did not. No, the Chronic 2000, the second one, when he, because the Chronic, when he the song where
Chronic came out in 92.
Yeah, the Chronic came out in 92. And then it was like
so
2001 was when he came out of retirement.
Right.
And he's like, motherfucker saying the Dre fell off because stay well off. And it was like, I was thinking, yeah, he's back. Wait, that was 20 years ago when he came back. Anyway, yeah, Still Dre was 2000. There you go. Anyway, yeah. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And I just have to say 50 Cent looks like a buck and a quarter. He looks like he ate 50 Cent. I don't know
he
why they
like
decided to hang him upside down. And he was like, I can't rap like this. Anyway, so guys, before we get into the rest of the show, and we are going to cover the rest of the things that are on here, we may go a few minutes overboard, but as you guys know, we're becoming very, very popular, and we've got so many sponsors that we don't even know who they all are. So John has the only way we can keep up with them is that John will just pop one up on the screen, and we'll know who they are today. So it's time for the On the Stoop mystery sponsor. Hold on, Lolo. It gets weird from here. Wolverhampton hot and spicy spam. That's right, folks. A 2,000.
You've done art. I don't know where this sponsor came from, but their marketing campaign is over the top awesome.
Oh
hot
my
and
God!
Spicy Wolverhampton. I just want to be able to read the tiny print on the side.
I'm going to read it because that is actual size. It is a 2,000-pound can of your favorite meat product in quotations. Order now for an autographed copy of Everyday Portuguese Cooking, signed by Nuno. Porque now.
Oh my God, that is amazing. So it's like it's basically like the hot and spicy Wolverhampton is made from bacalao.
Look at that song, Wolverhampton. Like, for when there's absolutely fucking nothing else left in the pantry.
Now, as someone who lived in Minnesota for 20 years, spam is a thing, and it is a treasured thing. Almost every friend I have owns a can. There's a can of spam in there somewhere. It gets
John,
cooked.
We got to add the next time you pop this one up. We have to add. Are you starving, waiting for your dad to finish parking the bus? Unlock a can of Wolverhampton. Oh, parking the bus. All right, that was fantastic. Okay, so we'll get to the rest of the show. Leeds United, they were on a little bit of a hot streak, I thought. Even though they drew with Aston Villa. Even though they drew with, sorry, where am I at on my scores and all that? Even though they drew with Aston Villa in that amazing fucking match last week, they came out and they played Everton. Everton, who was fucking floundering, looking hapless. I mean, they just lost to Newcastle 3-1 the week before. Everton came out and fucking put the hurt on them. What did you think about that one? I mean, Rafinha didn't even come out at the second half.
It was. I'm still going to maintain it. I'm still going to maintain this storyline. I know the rest of you, the Leeds fans, are like, nope, you're crazy. And you know what? You can call me that. And I'm going to believe you over my own thoughts because you're closer to the news sources and the team and all of that. But There's something going on. That boy is not happy. Why do you
Rafinha.
he keeps getting pulled. His passes
That
aren't
was the
sharp.
first time
He's
he
not
was pulled.
he looks second time that I'm aware of. There was another time about a month ago he got pulled at the half, but they were saying injury. But it's like I don't really know any, but there's something going on. I get it. Your squad is ridiculously hurt. And then you had Dallas come off, right?
But even
Dallas
when
that came off.
Dallas was injured, and it's looking like he's going to miss his first match in like
100 years, yeah, for sure.
100 years,
But
because Stuart Dallas started back when they were last in the Premier League.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. But
but my whole thing,
even when he's playing, he's just not looking himself.
He's not there. He's can
tired,
see,
is what Ben says.
Sure, okay, then he can be tired, but Wolves played 6 games or 3 games in 6 or 9 days. I mean, everyone's tired. It's the time of the year where everyone's tired, because just all the different things are involved. But here's my thought on. Are you just kidding me? Like, Leeds puts that performance.
Now, the whole team.
There was, like I'm singing. I am fucking singing Dan James's praises, saying he's finally evolved into that striker role. And what's going to happen? He looked lost out there. Every time the camera was on him, he was like, that kind of short, stocky body that he has.
Yeah.
It just...
Mark, I just need to address some of these comments because Saul says he got married 10 days ago. He shagged himself bandy-legged and playing shit. And then Scott says Rafinha got married in Leeds last week. His cock will still be red raw and affecting his performance. Guys, I don't know if many of you guys are married, but it's not like 100 years ago where she was. I guarantee she wasn't holding out until they got married.
Exactly.
I think they've probably been banging enough, and then they got married. And it may be that he hasn't gotten laid in 10 days. That's more likely the case. I don't know how many of y'all are married. This is probably the one show my wife is actually watching, and so I'll get in trouble for this. But but I'm just saying, like, that's the truth. We're not back in the 1800s where you had to get married just to get laid.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but Leeds' issues was more than Rafinha. I mean, it was even Llorente, who I normally can bank on having a good game, didn't have that great of a game. I mean, Melier gave up 3. I guess he had, I just can't. I was so disappointed, and I say this because I watch Leeds, and sometimes, and this is the truth, 100% truth. When Leeds and Wolves play at the same time and not each other, sometimes I go, that Leeds match, is that going to be a better one?
Well, because
I might watch that live and then watch
exciting. Yeah, what's the more exciting thing?
What's a more exciting? And sometimes I have that debate, but I watch every match of Leeds. For a non-Leeds fan, for a neutral, I guess I'm a little bit of a Leeds fan.
I was upset with this, especially, not to mention, because I confidently put money on Leeds United on this one. Just the way Everton's been playing.
I could see that.
Wasn't even like Donny van der Beek was amazing or anything. He did start.
Oh,
he was good.
Very good. He was good. He was very good.
Come on, not to change the entire fucking squad. I think it was more, as Michael DiCaprio saying, it was the worst performance under Bielsa.
They got smacked around by Newcastle and turned around, started Van der Beek in this one, and they were pushing. I was impressed with Van der Beek, and if that's the recipe, then a little bit more, please. I just wish Richarlison would play with a little less anger. You know, it seems like he just
he's so mad. He's so mad about everything. Richarlison,
yeah, he never
he's
smiles.
So fucking mad. Anyway, I was upset about that. Let's, a lot of our Leeds fans have just been saying, we march on. That was the worst performance. They're working on it. They know that. They were there. They saw that. And like Saul says, we need to stop being arrogant and give Everton some credit, as painful as that is to say. I would, except they've been so bad. So bad. And yes, they did come out and play very well. But it's not like Leeds do what Arsenal do, which is their manager tries to tactically win the match before the match even starts, and he's done these weird things and you don't even recognize your team. Like, you guys play the same type of football every week against every opponent. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, the problem right now is that I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. And when I look at my own team, when I look at Arsenal, when I look at City, and well, not City because they're better than everyone, but I'll look at the schedule upcoming, and I'll just be like, all right, they're better than that team. That's 3 points. They're better than that team. They're 3 points. Maybe that's a draw. But I'm looking at the schedule, the way Leeds is playing right now, and the way they're not getting anyone back from injury that is contributing. And now, you see Dallas injured, and he's going to miss a game. Granted, it's against City, I think they get next. I'm not really sure. But I'm looking. It's United. United is next. The one that's circled on the calendar. But I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, and I'm like, there's not one match that I can confidently say Leeds will win that match. Right now, I just can't, because they're not going to play. Norwich. Okay, but Norwich is starting to put it together.
That being said, what's rough with Leeds United is, I feel they have just as good a chance beating Manchester United as they do beating Norwich. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was kind of mad, because this one I came into it going, no, Leeds is in better form. They had some fun last week, and they're looking to come out and punish a team.
They put it together, and let's have it continue. But instead, it was just like, what's happening? And they seemed to think that like Everton was like ahead early on.
Yeah,
it was kind of a massacre, like, in a sense. I don't know.
And so look, and then you have fans like Scott Newby who's saying, not a single part of me is at all worried. I don't understand the need to sensationalize a few bad results. We're 6 points from 10th, for Christ's sake, with a game in hand too, all with a depleted team. Yeah. But the depleted team has been depleted all season, and at a certain point, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, now Rafinha is depleted. Now Stuart Dallas is depleted.
Yeah, I don't see Leeds being relegated, but I do think that there's going to come a week or two where it's going to be squeaky bum time, and it's going to be like, oh shit, we really need some points. Yeah, and they'll come. They'll definitely come.
So, speaking of squeaky bum time, a team that entered the new year in essentially squeaky bum time is the other team that I had up on here, sitting in 17th place with a game in hand on the team right below them, but sitting 4 points clear of relegation right now, who has made a turn. I mean, look at their form. Draw, win, win, win. That's really good form for Newcastle United. The one depressing thing you have to say for a Newcastle fan, and Johnny, let me know if this is true, but the Kieran Trippier injury. Once again, as I said when he first came to Newcastle, listen, Kieran Trippier isn't all about his defending. He isn't all about his attacking. He's more about his knowledge and his leadership on the pitch. Yes, he's added 2 amazing free kicks that were goals. He's added crosses into the box. He's constantly pressing. But to me, it's the yelling and the pointing and the calling people out.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave them a few games to get their feet on the ground, and then seeing Dan Burn really take control of the back there against the Villa team that was like, we were starting to say like, fuck, Coutinho, Buendia, Ollie Watkins, and Ramsey are going to be this incredible quartet of little mini magicians that can do some some damage. And look, they won 1-0. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and
Bruno Guimaraes didn't even come on until late in the match anyway, and I think he's going to be incredible for them. Arsenal wanted him.
Yeah. But I think it's going to put a little more pressure on Matt Target. You know, because he's the other new toy. And I've lost my guy. No, he doesn't, but he's going to be forced. And if he's ever wanted to have the opportunity to show that he's more than what he was at
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
But to me, he was very important. I was surprised that they let him go. So let's see Newcastle's next matches. So they play West Ham. It kind of goes
back and forth.
Brentford, Brighton.
And then Chelsea, then Castle. I mean,
listen, I know Arsenal fans will be rooting for Newcastle on Saturday against West Ham, and fuck it, against Brighton and Chelsea as well, and Palace. Yeah, against all these teams, we will be Newcastle fans for a while. But Johnny, let me ask you a quick question while you're there. Who fills in for Trippier? So, like in this match, who went in for Trippier? So it looks like Manquillo came out as well, which would mean that was it
Kieran Clark is hurt, so it wouldn't have been him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side. Paul Dummett, Emil Kraft. Yeah, it would be Paul Dummett. I don't know. I just don't know enough of these other guys. Manquillo was already on though. Manquillo started.
No, so yeah, I think it would have been Dimmitt.
Emil Kraft came on for him. Yeah, Manquillo started on the other side. So where was Target? Was hurt, I guess, or he just not playing?
Really?
I don't know.
That was quick.
He wasn't on there.
They broke both their new toys.
And Bondi's asking, where's the 25 million worth of goals from Chris Wood? And I'll tell you again, Bondi, that 25 million was not for a 25 million pound striker. Oh yeah, Target is on loan from Villa. He couldn't play against Villa.
Oh, that's exactly right. Good call.
Okay, good. Sorry, completely forgot. But listen, they didn't buy Chris Wood.
Wood's not there to score. Exactly.
He's there to take away from Burnley, number one. And now he's a foil to give Alan Saint-Maximin a yard more of space. And it's working.
He's also there for set pieces.
I don't think Chris Wood needs to score many goals. I think a headed goal every few matches will be money well spent for them. I mean, that's like what, $50 for them? And they
the
really
the change they find in their couch.
And if Woods gets 25 goals in his time at Sandcastle, I'll be impressed. Yeah, that could be 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be with them that long.
But anyways, guys, that's about it. So we're looking forward to it. Listen, we went long today, kind of because we skipped yesterday, and we had a lot to talk about.
A little bonus coverage.
A little bonus coverage. And, well, you know, when the good people at Wolverhampton sponsored us, they did ask for a
2,000 pounds of Wolverhampton.
The problem is they only sell one, so you're going to have to come over here and cut off some slices.
Well, it is highly preserved, so I think it will last for your children's children.
Look at Johnny saying exactly what I just fucking said. There you go. I might actually know a little bit about what I'm talking about. This might be paying off, Mark, all this football watching.
We do watch a lot of football.
As an Arsenal fan and a Wolves fan, just coherently discussed Newcastle fucking United. But Johnny, good to have you on the show. We'll hope to see you in a lot of the other chats as well. As you know, we don't only talk one team here. We try to talk as much Premier League as possible. But if you are in the comments, you guys can steer us because we have short attention spans. All right, what were we talking about? Oh, closing the show. So, guys, don't forget to hit the holy trinity of like, subscribe, share, just as Father Ted says. And always, drink my non-alcoholic beverage tonight. But we'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3 a.m. in the UK. Mark, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed talking about Wolves because we will never talk about them again. Peace from Brooklyn, y'all. Thank you, John.
Be good.